You know the feeling. You think, ugh, everybody else gets to do what they want, and I'm stuck here covering all the details, covering for everybody else. You suck it up, you put that burden on yourself, and you calmly, but resentfully, get it done. You're hiding how you really feel behind the mask of being calm. Have you ever come across a piece of advice that made you stop in your tracks? I recently read something that said, train your mind to be calm in every situation. Train your mind to be calm in every situation. Sounds like great advice, right? But the more I thought about it, the more I wondered, is that really the goal? Is calmness always the answer? Today, I'm going to challenge that idea because I have an unpopular opinion that calmness is not always the end goal. As someone who has worked hard on taming my inner perfectionist through mindfulness and meditation, I've spent years trying to create calm in my life. And yes, calmness absolutely has its place, and there are many, many benefits to being calm and having calmness in your life. It helps you to think straight in a stressful situation, or it might allow you to create space for a discussion instead of a fight with someone, or it makes you more aware and more focused, and it also helps you to manage and prepare your thoughts before you say them. So yes, calmness is very beneficial, and we definitely need it in our life. But to train your mind to be calm in every situation? In theory, this is a great approach to life. And as a perfectionist, my initial reaction to any piece of advice like this is like, yes, challenge accepted. I can do this. I can totally do this. If calm is the goal, I am going to nail it. I am going to meditate until I'm Zen level 1000. And I'll think of myself as a failure or a quitter if it doesn't happen. Does that sound familiar to you too? I mean, true story here. I was so gung-ho about this idea of creating calm in my life that I immediately went out and got mindfulness and meditation certified. And I opened my own meditation studio. And I was like, yes, okay, I love this. I love what this is doing for my life. Let's just adopt this as my new identity. But those uptight perfectionism tendencies did not hold off very long. In that part of my life, I was having trouble finding the balance between calmness and perfectionism and productivity and still trying to get things done. But here's the thing that I realized eventually. In trying to perfect calmness, I became obsessed with the end goal and realized I was missing out on an important part of being human. We are wired to experience a full spectrum of emotions: joy, anger, grief, excitement, even frustration. It's not about eliminating emotions to fit into this calm mold. It's about learning to hold space for them and to let them happen as they are. So let's be real for a second. Life is unpredictable. You can't control the traffic jam that's going to make you late, or the coworker who sends you a snarky email, or the toddler who decides to have a meltdown in the middle of the grocery store. All of those things are a part of life that we are supposed to be experiencing. They are going to happen. We can't avoid it. And it's okay if your first internal response to those things is to express frustration. It's okay. How boring and passive aggressive would life feel if those things happened to you and your response was always, well, it is what it is. That's how life goes. Anytime anything goes wrong, oh, well, it is what it is. That's how life goes. Something exciting happens and somebody tells you this really great news and you're like, oh, that's so great for you. I'm so excited, but you can't match their energy because you're just trying to remain calm. The people around you might begin to think that you don't care about them if you don't match their energy. That's how we create real human connection. Not by being a robot and remaining calm and collected in every situation. And you can still express emotions very calmly, but some people need that real raw emotion to connect with you. And so here's where I've landed through all of my mindfulness and meditation practices and getting to understand myself and our existence in this world a little bit more. Calmness is not the goal. The goal is awareness. That's really, really important. The awareness is how we understand and are present for everything going on. It's you understanding the emotions of a situation by reading the room, by understanding how somebody else is feeling, and by responding with what feels right to you. So let me explain. Instead of aiming to be calm in every situation, what if we aimed to be present, to feel the emotion with ourselves or with somebody else? Identify the emotion, name it, and then decide how you want to respond instead of suppressing it to remain calm. Mindfulness teaches that emotions are just data. They are not permanent states that we have to live in. They pass through us through waves. Think of those emotions like waves in the ocean. Some are gentle ripples, and others are powerful 6-foot whitecaps that are going to knock you down. Calmness isn't about stopping those waves, because that's impossible. It's about learning to float or learning to surf over or through them. And that's exactly what mindfulness does. It invites us to check in with ourselves, not to suppress or avoid what we're feeling, but to observe all of what is happening with curiosity. This practice is called emotional awareness. It's as simple as taking a moment to pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Where do I feel it in my body? Is my chest tense? Are my muscles tense? Do I feel it in my head, my heart, my stomach? Where is this feeling coming from? Is this anger? Is it fear? Is it frustration? This step alone can create enough space for you to pause and respond rather than to ignore it. So, by combining emotional awareness with grounding techniques, we create a foundation of resilience because, again, it's not about achieving calm. It's about building the capacity to ride life's waves with presence and strength. If we're always striving to remain calm, we're denying ourselves the richness of what it means to be human. Frustration can be a signal that something isn't right and needs to change in your life. Sadness can remind us of what we value. Joy shows us more of what we want in our life, and even anger, when handled well, can help us to set boundaries for learning to stand up for ourselves. The point is, every emotion has a purpose. Our job isn't to shut them out just by being calm, but to welcome them in. Just like uninvited guests come over to your house, and sometimes they will stay longer than you want them to, but they eventually will move on. No feeling or situation is permanent, so allow yourself to feel those emotions. And for us perfectionists, this idea of welcoming emotions can sometimes be challenging. Let's be honest, we're masters at pushing through. When the pressure's on, we put our heads down and we power through, often ignoring what we're feeling just to get that job done. There's no room for emotions in that sense, or so our habits have led us to think. That constant suppression isn't sustainable. A calm response could leave us feeling drained or disconnected or even resentful. You know the feeling. You think, ugh, everybody else gets to do what they want and I'm stuck here covering all the details, covering for everybody else. You suck it up, you put that burden on yourself, and you calmly, but resentfully, get it done. You're hiding how you really feel behind the mask of being calm. But shifting our mindset to acknowledge and process emotions as they rise, we can actually make life better. When we allow space for emotions instead of fighting them, we create more balance. This is what I wasn't getting right many years ago. It was all or nothing in my mind. I had to be totally zen, totally calm, or I had to be totally in the zone and working hard. But balance doesn't mean letting emotions take over. It means recognizing them, understanding them, and then letting them guide us in a healthier way. Imagine the freedom of no longer having to bottle it all up. The ability to pause, to breathe, and to acknowledge, you know what? I'm feeling stressed right now, or I'm feeling overwhelmed. It's not a weakness, it's wisdom, internal wisdom. You're better understanding yourself and how you respond to these situations. And it's what helps us to recover and move forward without burning out. And that's really important. So here's your mindful action for this week. The next time you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, don't rush to push through. Don't try to push through those feelings and push them away. Pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Where do I feel it? What is this emotion? How is it affecting me? Write it down if that helps. Remember, it's not about avoiding the wave of emotions. It's about learning to ride with it. So how are we feeling about all of this? I feel pretty good. I think it's helping to compartmentalize all this information and these emotions in my head and to help me understand how to balance the emotions with the push to be perfect, with the push for perfectionism a little bit more. And I hope you feel the same way. So thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me today. If you enjoyed this, I think you will love my video on overcoming the challenges of self-awareness. It's all about how to navigate the ups and downs of truly understanding who you are. So be sure to check that out, like, subscribe, and share. And as always, stay mindful, take care of yourself, and go find some peace by feeling those emotions rather than just trying to stay calm. Okay? Cheers.